Hi, this is Christopher Clark, Town Administrator for the Town of Harwich. I wanted to speak with you today in terms of a different topic that I've covered. The town meeting at the last May's town meeting had approved the creation of an affordable housing trust. What the Affordable Housing Trust is designed to do is to help folks that are trying to break into the housing market, or those that are in the housing market and are kind of over their head a little bit on their house. What this trust will do is it is an entity within the town of Harwich governmental structure. But what it does is it gives us the flexibility, and within kind of, if you would, a division within the government, to be able to address issues regarding affordable housing. And I hesitate a little bit to use the word affordable housing, because this is really, it's almost like starter housing or just kind of helping people. The affordable housing, I think, has kind of a bad rep, that some of the numbers I just looked at, 80% of the median income is for, I think it was for a family of four, is $76,000. So, this really is housing that is designed to kind of help folks break into or stay in the housing market. So what I wanted to speak today about was just to kind of number one, kind of announce that we now have this Affordable Housing Trust. There are 5 members on the trust. I am very happy to announce that at the trust meeting we just had fairly recently, I did volunteer and sought the position to be the chair of that committee, and my committee members agreed. Don Howell, one of the selectmen in the community here, has been also appointed as vice chair. And then Larry Brophy, a former member of the planning board, is also on the trust, as well as a couple other members, Judith Underwood, and I'm forgetting on my other member, citizen member. What I really wanted to function today or mention was just by having this trust and by having funding source available to us, because town meeting did appropriate money for the trust, that we're looking for to meet with people that have opportunities. So there are a few in which there is a housing complex in Harwich that currently is market rate housing. That's rental market rate housing. And it's up for sale. And I think this would be kind of a perfect opportunity to meet with somebody that was interested in acquiring that property. I don't think as a trust we want to acquire. We have a housing authority, so the housing authority kind of controls and occupies certain spaces and then rents out to people. This is a different approach. This approach is more designed to look and see where opportunities lie and to see if we can capitalize on those. So if we have a housing development, a garden apartments or apartments, and we want to help to fund that project and have, in a rentals case, about 25% of those be dedicated for affordable, and then 75% stays workforce or market rate, that then we get to count all of that development towards our commitment. And there is a commitment. The state has a requirement that for affordable housing, the goal they set is a fairly low goal, but it's 10% of your housing stock should be committed for affordable housing or family-friendly housing or workforce housing, whichever name you think. I think those are more appropriate terms than simply calling it simply affordable. But in those circumstances, we want to see if we can identify some of these, and right now we're at 5.4% of the housing is deemed by the state to be affordable. Our target is to get to 10%. I think for Harwich and many towns on the Cape, this is a bigger issue, that as a house becomes available, the house has a lot of competition for it. The Cape is a very desirable place to live on a full-time basis, but it's also a very desirable place to live on a part-time basis. So we have a lot of competition from seasonal folks that want to come in and purchase property and use it for summertime. And that really helps to kind of squeeze a little bit the local people that are here, or part of the workforce that is here that wants to try to buy a home. So this Affordable Housing Trust should be able to provide an option to some folks that want to pursue this. This could be in a big scale, as I alluded to earlier, getting into working with someone to buy a development. It could also be to identify town-owned parcels of land, and then if we have the land cost would be minimal, then the only cost would be for the construction of the infrastructure and the housing units themselves, and to identify a partner to help us do that construction. So one of the things that the trust will be working on fairly shortly is to focus on, let's identify town-owned parcels of land that do lend themselves to development, and see if we can construct some housing with a partner. And again, I mentioned about not being a housing authority. We don't really want to be a housing authority because we have one. But how do we accomplish that? It's really through these partnership arrangements, in which if it's an individual homeowner that wants to convert their home when they retire, or to make it so it's now eligible for affordable housing, we can enter into deed restrictions and make the housing unit become qualified for affordable housing. So we really have a full gamut of opportunities where we can take town-owned parcels and have those be leased out or sold off to build units on that can then be used for affordable, so the land cost is minimized. We have the homeowners that currently have their homes that want to convert them into affordable. Perhaps they have working class or young children that are trying to make their way into the workforce. I say young children, I'm getting older. Probably teenage adults or young adults that want to break into the housing market. But if you have an interest in helping us with this concern that we have in the community of trying to get closer to that 10%, trying to have it where the youth of the Cape doesn't decide that the only option is to move off Cape, that we have to create those housing options. And that seasonal housing market, and I appreciate the seasonal housing market. It's nice to have a desirable location and the desire for people to live here. That's a great thing. But there are impacts to everything in life. And I think in this case, by being a highly desired seasonal location, we are putting a lot of pressure on the existing workforce to be able to retain their house situations here on the Cape. So the Affordable Housing Trust is designed to try to help and work with people. And it's kind of interesting that I get to not only talk about being the town administrator in the community, but also trying to address an issue of trying to have the Cape stay the Cape in the way it's been, where we have a diverse population, and that there is plenty of opportunity, hopefully, for the workforce to be able to stay here, and that we don't just have to rely upon folks, foreign workers that come in and work. They play a vital role and a key role, but I think we need to have balance and have enough opportunity for locals to be able to have jobs and homes and be able to stay in this area. So I just wanted to kind of do a quick introduction to the Housing Trust. I apologize. I know Caleb's already given me a few of the high signs going over my 5-minute normal. But I think this is an issue that is important. If you do want to reach out and have a conversation, I would strongly encourage you to get a hold of our office here, the Town Administrator's office, or any member of the trust. And we will have a list of the trust members on our website. And if you do have some interest in working with us in this partnership to help those that could use this affordable housing, please look us up, seek us out, and let's see if we can help to address this issue. Christopher Clark, Town Administrator and Chairman of the Housing Trust, thank you for your time and attention.